today.
We'll
Nice.
soak some of that up virtually, yes. And so come to an easy seated position, whatever works best for you on your mat. And start to settle in on your mat, grounding down, finding your sit bones, which might mean moving some of the flesh away. That's okay, especially now. And then take a moment as you let your breath deepen to do a little bit of a body scan, a little bit of a body check. As you let your eyes close and just notice as you come to this seated position and you strive to build your foundation, pressing down through those sit bones and lifting up through the heart, giving the spine lots of room, spreading the shoulders and rolling the shoulder blades onto the back. The breath deepens and you begin to notice areas, maybe funky ways that you sit or walk or have been holding yourself, whether through stress or tension, or just in my case, my favorite sofa to sit in. Kent was reminding me last night that I need to sit differently, that it's not good the way I sit. And so we come to our mat to undo some of those things. And I'd like to introduce a thought here as we come to our grounding and our centering time on our mat. And that thought really is that we have two ways to approach how we are going to react to what's going on in our lives right now. We can come from a place of love and from hope, or we can come from a place of fear. And I was having a conversation last week with Susan. And I told her that whenever I make a decision from fear, I know I need to step back, take a breath, recenter, and then think if I was coming from a place of love, of hope, of gratitude, how would my decision be different? So we'll practice that a little bit on our mat today, maybe noticing where you pull in or you think you have to push too hard on your practice, which those are fear-based reactions, right? And instead, think about if I were loving and hopeful about my body and what it could do for me today, how I can show it a little bit of care on my mat. How might I change this position? And as always, at the end of class, I'll offer a way to take that off your mat. But let's play with it first here physically. Take one more nice deep breath in and out. And as you set your own intention on your mat, bring your hands together at your heart center. Let your eyes close if they weren't before. Bow your head. See that intention that you're setting on your mat, how you want to approach your practice today. See yourself fulfilling that intention in this next hour so that we're together, looking for hope, grace, joy, whatever speaks to you, whatever is the opposite of fear-based in your practice. And as you set that intention and see yourself achieving that, take one last deeper bow of the head, drawing it further down and gently drawing the fingertips up towards the forehead, bringing the head and the heart together. Your thumb may still rest on your chest. It may not. Depends on the length of your neck and how deeply your neck wants to open and bow. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift the eyes and up. Keep them softly closed for right now. And start to rub the hands together. So in case you're feeling like it's a little gloomy in your house and maybe a little chilly, I know we've been keeping the temperature a little bit lower than we normally do in our house. Go ahead and get some heat working up between those hands and then place the hands over your eyes, fingers on the forehead. And as you shelter your eyes like that, let the eyes softly open and gently let the hands fall down by the sides. Beautiful. Go ahead. And we'll just take the arms out, do a few nice, easy stretches, reaching out, starting to open up that back. Exhale the hands down to the heart center. 2 more times. Inhaling, sweeping the eyes now, maybe up to join the hands. And then exhaling the hands back down to heart center. This 3rd time, maybe the eyes reach up too, the head tips up. Can you press the fingers together and start that pressure at the top, then drag the palms down? As you bring the hands down to the heart center, keep the elbows lifted, the palms pressing in towards each other, and gently begin to press your palms further towards your navel. So now you're kind of trying to bring those hands into a little bit of a V. The palms still press into each other. This is there's a lot of pressure probably on your forearms, and it won't be a big movement, but it's a big pressure inside the arms. Then keeping the hands pressed down, the elbows lifted up, relax the shoulders, and gently try to rotate your hands so the fingertips come out away from your chest, and then rotate them down towards the belly. Keep pressing those palms in towards each other. And now keep all that pressure on the palms and keep pressing the fingers down as you begin to rotate them out away from the belly, drawing them back up. Inhale, stretch the arms straight up and feel the release in the arms. Exhale, the hands down to heart center. That's a little wrist opener that if your wrists are ever bothering you, you can come to just pressing the hands in, pushing the palms down, and then rotating the fingers and playing with that. All right, from here, bring the fingertips up to your shoulders. And again, lift through the elbows as you press the fingertips down into the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders. Take a big inhale in, and as you exhale, twist to your right. Come back to the center, exhale, twist left. Come back to the center, exhale, twist right. Keep doing that with your breath, and then speed it up using your own breath pattern. Moving quickly. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep trying to rotate quickly through this movement, letting the core do the work. One more breath on either side. Come back to center. Release the arms out, palms up towards the sky. Pull those thumbs back behind you, drawing the shoulder blades on the back. Flip the palms down. And then inhale, stretch the arms all the way up, palms press back in together. Hands come down to heart center. Beautiful. Bring the hands down underneath the thighs and switch those legs out. Take a nice full breath in. Bring the hands back to the heart center. Inhale, stretch those arms up. Exhale, release the arms down to the sides. Flip the palms up, bring them just up so you're stretching out. Pull the thumbs back behind you, feeling the shoulder blades on the back. What's happening to the rib points? Keep pulling those rib points in. Breathe. And then inhale, stretch the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, hands back down to heart center. Bring the hands back underneath the thighs. Bring the legs up close together. Flip these would be soles. Flip the soles of your feet down, and then gently let the knees start to float down towards the floor. Lift up through the heart and grasp the fronts of your shins. Now this can be kind of deep and it's early in class, so be gentle with yourself, right? You're free to stay right here, pressing the sit bones away from the heels and the knees down towards the floor, or you can begin to, as you hold the shins, gently press down on the thighs and stretch your back long. So don't worry about curling in. Keep the pelvis pulling forward, the top of the pelvis pulling forward as you press your heart back towards or forward towards your heels. Couple of breaths here, stretching through those thighs. And then bring the hands back underneath the knees, drawing the knees back up. If you're on a prop, go ahead and come off of your prop and grab either your blanket or a block. And we're going to come to a Virasana pose, but with a block to help us. I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. Kent can stay to the side there. So with the feet, with the knees right underneath the hips, bring the block in between. Some of you may be open enough that you're going to go all the way down into Virasana. We're going to lay the toenails flat on the ground and begin to descend onto our block to a point that's comfortable for us. We're just starting to open up those quads in the front of the body. So as you press those toenails down, try to draw up through the shins and through the ankles. Don't let the ankles just collapse and be lazy, all right? We press the toenails down, so much it lifts up through the ankles. And then push the knees down and in. If you don't have a block and you're sitting all the way on the floor, I want you to make certain that your ankles are nestled outside of your hips with the ankles rolling in, hugging the hips. All right, don't let them roll out away from the hips. Then inhale, stretch the arms all the way up, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Take both arms straight out from you, rotate the right arm up and reach it back behind you. Take that left arm out parallel to the left shoulder, flip the thumb down, reach behind you, and see if you can find the fingertips for Gomukhasana arms. Pull through the heart, pull the right shoulder up, left shoulder down. Sorry, you want right elbow up, but right shoulder should still be pressing down. We're lengthening that tricep. And breathing. Again, check in with those rib points. We want the heart lifted, but we don't want to get there by banana back. We want to be pulling in and drawing that core sitting in action in on the core. Release the arms, unwind, shake it all out. Now, if you feel like my legs are feeling good and I want to go a little deeper, rotate that block down and come a little lower. Again, we're coming down so that our knees press into the mat. You might find it's helpful if you're trying to lower, but your knees don't like it, to bring a blanket in and bring that blanket under the knees. So as you press down with the knees and in with the knees, you press down with the toes, and that creates a little place for your bottom to come. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms up again. Exhale the hands down to the heart center. And this time, take both arms out and flip the left palm up. Stretch that left arm up, reach behind you. Take that right arm out and rotate the thumb towards the ground. Reach behind you. Maybe you grab your shirt, maybe you can reach your fingertips. Either case, lift your heart, tuck the ribs. Now pull the elbows away from each other. And breathe. Yay, you made it to yoga. You didn't have to get in a car and drive here. If you wanted to turn off your video, we don't even know if, like John and Diana, you're actually eating ice cream. And then release your hands and roll your shoulders apart. Beautiful. Go ahead and rock yourself forward. If you have any props, take them off. And you do want to have, for this next series, a strap. And you might want to make a small loop. Kent, I think yours has it. A small loop just big enough to work around your foot and hold your foot. I'm going to check mics because I think somebody's mic is open. All right, come to your tabletop, and with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, stretch through the spine, make the head go long. Take a big breath in, and we'll take 5 rounds of cat-cow. So lift the sacrum, drop the belly, lift the heart, and breathe. Exhale, drop the sacrum, lift through the back. This time, drop the head. Keep going. Inhale. On the exhale, we find our cat, Halloween cat. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just following your breath. And when you've completed your 5th round here, we'll meet in a nice solid tabletop position. From here, stretch your right leg out and then take your left arm up. Just briefly here, pull everything in, the left arm and the right leg towards the midline. Pull the belly up and press yourself away from the mat actively with your right arm. Hold this and feel the steadiness. Now drop that left hand down, bend the right knee, and take the sole of the foot up towards the sky. So right foot is flexed, sole of the foot is up towards the sky. And then using the glute, the right glute, lift and pump that leg 3 to 5 times. Just trying to isolate that action. Now, if reaching around and grabbing your foot is not in your practice this morning, where I'd like you to draw your knee down, reach back to a kneeling position and place your strap around the arch of your right foot. With the strap around the arch of the right foot, you can draw the tail over to the left side of your body. Yep, like that. And now we're set up to be able to lift that right leg back up again. We can all take the left arm out long and float it around. You're either finding your strap or you're finding your foot. Flex the right foot, lift it up. Again, try to use the glute. Now we're focusing on the heart and hope, right? So let's see if we can bring the heart and the chest forward as we lift that back leg up. Let go of the foot, stretch the arm out, stretch the leg out, and come back to neutral. Draw the toes in, and you can press back, take the strap off if you'd like, and then find your child's pose. You can have a nice closed knee child's pose, or you can bring the toes in close together and the knees out wide. Just drop those hips down and release the heart towards the floor. And take a few breaths. And on your next inhale, press those hands into the ground and rise back up. Now, if you wanted the strap before, this would be a great time to add that strap now. And place the strap either across the feet or across your back, whatever is easiest for you to be able to grab that strap. If you don't need the strap, you can go ahead and begin to set up. We'll all come together at our tabletop. And we're going to first just stretch out the left leg, stretch out the right arm. Draw the right arm and the left leg in close, finding stillness and breathing. And then place that right hand down on the ground. Flex and bend the left foot and leg. You're trying to make an L shape there. And then using the left side of the glutes, lift up and pump. So don't let it come from anywhere else in the body, right? We want to isolate that, let it come from that left glute. And then still that and reach the right arm out and then float it around. Find either the left foot or the strap. Flex that left foot and roll the heart and the shoulders forward as you begin to lift up. Stretch out long. And then exhale back to a neutral tabletop. Again, if you've got that strap on your foot, go ahead and press back to kneeling and take the strap off. The rest of us will simply press back to toe crunching position. And there are a couple of different ways you can do this. Again, and we were talking earlier about getting to take some teachers' classes that we don't normally get to experience. I think this is interesting. I had never tried this before, and I thought it was kind of fun. From toe crunching position, if this really is not a big deal for you, and you want to add a little intensity, you can bring your block in. I think I just heard John guffaw. You can bring your block in, press back onto the toes, and then draw the knees down. And that will more firmly place your weight right on your toes. Either way, either position that you chose, draw that belly in, lift through the heart, roll the shoulders back and down. Go ahead and take a moment here to bring your hands to your heart center. And just feel the steadiness and the focus. There is a reason that we call it toe crunching position, right? And then release the hands. Bring them down to the mat to support you if you're taking the block away, or to help you crawl forward and find your tabletop. Take your hands, one handprint in front of you, and as you exhale, drop your chest down towards the mat, finding puppy dog. You might have your forehead touch, your hips stay high, or if your shoulders are very flexible and you want to bring a little more into this, you can begin to look forward with the head, dropping the shoulders further, perhaps bringing the chest and the shoulders down, or the chest and the chin to the floor. Try to keep the hips lifted here, so press your weight forward, hun. Yeah, and walk your hands further out. There you go, now go down. One more breath in your chosen puppy dog. And at the end of that breath, with the inhale, start to walk the hands back in. Take the toes back a couple of inches.
If you've untucked them, tuck the toes, and then exhale and lift the hips up and back and find your first down dog.
Take a few seconds here in your down dog to begin to get comfortable. So you might walk that dog out, just bending and straightening, breathing, inhaling, exhaling, shifting the weight forward and back. And then still your down dog and look forward, bend the knees and make your way up to a forward fold, keeping a nice big bend in those knees unless you've been waking up the backs of the legs before class.
So nice big bend, top of the body rolls over towards the floor. As you exhale, I'd like you to drop your hips closer to your heels, coming to a deeper squat. Then as you inhale, press the fingers into the mat or a block and lift through the sit bones, keeping the head down, like someone's holding your head down there. Bring your hands up to your hips, pull your elbows together, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweep eyes and arms up, right arm grasps left wrist and you stretch over to the right. Now remember, this is not a caving of the right side, it's a lifting and pulling of the left side up and over. Shift the weight over to the right foot and let the left foot float out. Can you draw the right shoulder slightly forward? Lift your gaze a little. Come back to neutral with the shoulders and then draw the left foot in. Switch those arms out. Left hand grasps right arm, stretches it up and over, reaching for the left side. Shift the weight, right foot floats out. Maybe that left shoulder comes forward, gaze presses up to the right. Square those shoulders off, bring the right leg back in. Press up, stretch the arms out, then cactus the arms. Pull up through the heart, lift with your gaze, little baby back bend. Inhale, sweeping the eyes and the arms all the way up, and then exhale and forward fold. Take a big breath here in your forward fold, perhaps grasping opposite elbows. Remember, you can keep a bend in those knees. What we're looking for is freedom in the low back. So we're trying to hinge. Bring the belly to the thighs. Go ahead and rock those arms back and forth for a little ragdoll action. And then let the hands drop to the floor. Again, big dip in those hips towards the heels. Make certain you're pressing through all four corners of the feet. Head stays low. Begin to lift those sit bones up, trying to keep the chest and the belly, the thighs and the belly connected. Bring the hands back up to the hips, little bend in the knees, lift through the heart and rise all the way up. Exhale the hands down to heart center. We'll do a complete sane to warm up. So inhale, stretch the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, place the hands and make your way to your plank, remembering that a full out plank is great or a modified plank is great, whichever one works for you and your back. Exhale, chaturanga, come all the way down. Lay the toes flat. Pull the legs in close together. Draw the elbows in towards the body as you roll the heart forward and up. Exhale, press all the way down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, either press through table to down dog or straight back. Reversing your plank and pressing to down dog. Take a few breaths here, settling in, always remembering when you come back to your down dog, this is your home base, so refine the pose. Let your gaze come forward, bend your knees, and behind the exhale, make your way up to the front of your mat. Lifting through those hips, dropping the head. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, in fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the hands to the hips. Make any costume adjustments you need to. And then step back with the right leg, finding a lunge. So just step straight back there and find that lunge. Then inhale, sweep the arms up, and as you exhale, drop the right knee down to the ground. Now take a look down. What we'd like to do is to have both legs in a neutral position, so right angles in the left knee and the right knee, so not too far forward, not too far back. All right, so make those that neutral low lunge here. Then I want you to scissor those legs together so that you feel it all the way up into your butt. You pull the legs together so hard. Use your left hand to anchor down your left hip and keep it from moving anywhere. Then inhale your right arm up long, twist to the left, and exhale the right elbow over the left knee. Bring the hands together at the heart for a little prayer twist. Now, if you've got the hands stacked, your next challenge here is to lift up through the heart and be able to bring your thumbs into your heart. How do you get there? You're lifting and lengthening through the spine and you're pulling your right lung forward. One more breath. Go ahead and inhale the arms back up to neutral. Exhale the hands down to frame the front foot. Stretch through the back leg for a nice little runner's lunge. Inhale, shifting the weight forward. Bring the right foot up next to the left. Let the head drop towards the floor as you lift the hips in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Let's keep right on going with that sequence. Exhale, hands to heart center. Then step back, find your high lunge on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and use the legs to help you descend slowly down to the floor. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Check in with those legs. It helps if you can see yourself in your computer. If you can't, maybe you've got a mirror, you know, Kent can look over there and see in the fireplace how his legs look. Bring that right hand down and anchor that right hip, pressing it down and back. Lift up through the left arm, refusing to let that right hip go anywhere. And then twist to the left. Exhale the left, to the right, thank you. Exhale, left arm over right, and then begin to stack. Now you'll notice the tendency is to curl the back to get here. So lift through that spine, press out through the head, pull the left lung forward and to the right. Keep trying to bring the thumbs up into the heart. Breathe. When you're ready, inhale, sweep back to neutral. Exhale the hands down around the front foot. Stretch through the back leg. Take a breath here, take that big stretch. Step on the right foot, inhale, sweep forward, and bring both feet together, finding forward fold. One more time, grab opposite elbows and ragdoll back and forth. As we ragdoll here, resist the urge to try to pull up. Keep pressing the head towards the floor, lifting through the hips, letting go. Hands come back down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Go ahead and shake everything out a little bit. We're going to add on to our low lunge here. And again, you'll want to have your strap available. We're going to add a little quad stretch down here. So inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhale the hands down to the heart center. Lift up through, let's step back with the right leg this time. So lift through that right leg and step back, finding your high lunge. Shimmy that back foot back because we want a deeper lunge this time. So as you press through that back heel, lift up through the arms, press the palms in to each other, and then exhale the right knee down to the ground. Now this time, bring the hands to the heart center and check in. You might slide your right hand down your right thigh. I don't have a very big angle on that right thigh. So I'm going to bring my hands down to frame my front foot, dig my toes in and stretch that right leg back a little further. Dig the right toes in for balance. Inhale and come back up into this much deeper flexor lunge. Exhale the hips down and forward, trying to keep that left hip pulling back even as you're pushing your hips forward. So I don't want to just push into the left hip. I want to push evenly. Pull the belly in to support you. Breathe. Draw your hands down to your heart center and bring your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Now you can grab your strap and you're going to bend your right foot and place that strap around the right foot. If you can't reach that, again, just press back, bring the strap onto the foot, come back and join us in our low lunge position. Once you've got yourself situated here, you're going to bend that right knee. Now, if you feel pain on that right knee, you need to get off the kneecap, which means you need to pull that right leg a little further back, or you can roll your mat up. This is one where we really want to make certain that our knees feel comfortable. Wherever you're at, you've got that cushioned right knee, bend that right knee, left fingers stay on the floor, right hand reaches back and either grasps the strap or the foot. As you pull the foot up towards your bottom, flex the right foot, and perhaps you stay right here with the fingers on the floor. Perhaps your left hand comes up to your left knee. Square those hips, lift through the heart, oops, I lost it, and see if you can reach the left arm up towards the sky. If, like me, you lost it, just start, rebuild. And breathe. Now, can you release the foot, let the right arm float up, and then exhale, both hands down to frame the front foot. Step into that left foot and float the right foot forward. If you've got the strap on it, you can take the strap off here and switch it over to the left foot. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. We'll all meet up in our forward fold. When you're ready, inhale halfway. Exhale in fold. Inhale, sweep eyes and arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to step back with that left foot, finding a high lunge. Now again, knowing when I did it on the other side, I took too short of a stance, right? So I was stepping back in fear. I'm going to wiggle that left foot back a little further and challenge you to do the exact same thing. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms up. And then exhale that left knee down. Check in by sliding the left hand down. Does that hip have enough of an angle on it? If not, just the hands come down to frame the foot. Dig the left toes a little further out and stretch the leg back. Now you should have your strap hopefully on your foot if you want that strap. So we're going to walk the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Bend the left leg. You can either reach back and grab that left ankle or grab the strap. Then start to walk your right hand up to the right knee. Find your balance here. Flexing through the left foot, even as my hand is pulling it in, my foot is pushing away. Then square the heart towards the front of your mat, pull the belly in, and maybe the right arm floats up. So we get a little hip flexors, a little quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, little baby back bend, little heart opener. Now, can you gracefully let go of that foot or the strap? Let the hands come back up together over your head. Exhale the hands down to frame the front foot. Stretch through your runner's lunge. Step into that right foot and float the left foot forward. Shake those legs out, maybe take the strap off and set it to the side. And then inhale halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep the eyes, the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Beautiful, shake the legs out. I'm gonna turn sideways. Kent, it's up to you which way you wanna face, if you wanna come forward or not. All right, so if you need a drink, grab a drink while we get organized here. I know I need one. We're gonna add another little quad stretch in here. So this is a standing quad stretch. Stand well on your left leg, and if you know balance is not your buddy, then feel free to run over next to a chair or a counter, whatever you need for your balance today. So stand well on your left leg, and then draw your right knee up to Ardha Tadasana. Slide your right hand down that leg, finding the ankle again. Now, if you can't find the ankle, yeah, so you'll notice like Kent is moving over and grabbing the fireplace to see, is it really that I can't get my ankle or is it my balance, right? Once you find the ankle, make certain you straighten through the left leg. Keep the legs
in towards each other and just slide the right knee under the right hip. Now we're adding a shoulder opener here because we need to open that and pull the right shoulder onto the back as we press the right knee down towards the floor. So resist the urge to let the leg come out. Keep pulling the legs in close together. Right foot is flexed, belly is pulled in. You might even lift the left arm up here and breathe. Nice. Draw that right leg back in, and this time draw the right arm up with it, and then bring the hands to the heart center. Can you reach the right hand down, finding that foot, and bring it into tree? Now remember, tree does not have to be up in the thigh. It can be on the calf. It can be just a kickstand on the floor. And take a break here in this tree to find your balance. Lift up with your heart. Inhale, stretch the eyes and the arms up. Big balance challenge here. Can you exhale the hands to the heart center? Can you exhale your hands to cactus? I lied. And then keeping the arms in cactus, like we did in that standing position, can you lift the heart and lift the gaze? Come back to a neutral spine. And then now bring the hands to the heart center. Bring the foot, the right foot out to the front, and step that right foot down and shake those legs out. Beautiful. All right, we'll start with that standing quad stretch on the other side and then add our tree on. Stand well on that right foot. You can keep the hands at the heart center, or you can bring the right hand to the right hip if that helps. You pull in the belly as you lift the left leg to Ardha Tadasana. Left hand, I like to slide it down and find that ankle. Then draw the foot back, simply hinging, pivoting that hip. So not letting it come out to the side. Left knee pulls in close to right knee, left foot is flexed, heart and shoulders come forward, right arm stretches up. Take a couple of breaths. Keep pressing that left knee down towards the floor, trying to bring the left knee in alignment with the right leg. One more breath. We'll begin our transition here. So draw that left leg forward, left arm reaches up. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. And then holding the right hand in at the heart, slide that left hand down to find the left foot, bringing it up into the tree position that serves you today. Now again, if you'd like that balance challenge on this side, go ahead and bring the arms up. From this fully extended position, draw them into your cactus. Find your balance, and then lift through the heart and see, can you lift your gaze? It doesn't take much to throw our balance, does it? When you're ready, come back through center. Find Ardha Tadasana with your foot, and then bring everything back down to the mat. And shake those legs out. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's add on. All right, let's see, how am I doing on time? All right. We're going to come to the front of our mats, stand well in your feet. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Drop the hips and find a chair pose. So I'm pressing back, lifting with my arms. My hips are pressing back, my arms lift up, my belly pulls in, and I breathe. Bring the hands down to the heart center. Now pull up through the heart and draw the left elbow over the right knee, finding a twisted chair. Notice your left knee is going to want to pop forward. Pull that left knee back. Lift through the heart. See if you can bring your hands to your heart in prayer. Come back through the center. Lift the arms up. Inhale all the way up for a moment of release. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, in fold. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Drop those hips back into chair. Couple of breaths. Refine your chair, pressing through your feet. Push out through the bottom. Can you see your toes? Pull the belly up, lift with the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Draw the right elbow up, out, over the left knee. Find your prayer twist. Check in on the knees.
Then inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold, find a plank. Take chaturanga. Perhaps you hover and then pull through for baby cobra. Perhaps you press up for up dog. Tuck your toes, exhale, lift your hips, press back, down dog. And take a few breaths. In your down dog, remember to press the weight up towards the hips and then let the energy come down, straightening the legs. Lift your right leg up and we're headed to warrior one. So draw the right knee in between the hands and then shift that left foot a little further out, bringing it flat to the floor, keeping a big bend in that front knee. Inhale and sweep up, finding warrior one. Bring your hands briefly down to your heart. Let your mind's eye focus now on the back left foot. Can you stamp the outer edge of that back left foot down? Let the energy travel up the back of the leg and then draw the right hip back and the right knee into a deeper bend. Pull the belly button in, lift the heart, and the arms rise up. Cactus those arms. And one more time. Inhale, lift through the heart, little baby back bend. So cactus those arms, beautiful. Come back to a neutral spine, arms lifted. Exhale, hands down to frame that front foot. Step back, finding your plank. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Pull through to your back bend. And then press back to down dog. And take a few breaths. Now, as we do this step through to warrior one on the other side, I want you to really focus on what I'm going to tell you. Stretch your left leg up. Now, shift your weight forward, draw your knee in and bring the left knee up and in. Place the foot forward as far as it will go. Drop your right knee down, grab the left foot and place it where you want it. Beautiful. Now, take the right foot further out wider, flatten that foot and come to warrior one. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhale, hands to the heart center while we refine this pose. Kent's doing a great job of stamping down on the outside of that right foot. Lots of energy traveling up through the back of the leg. Pull that left hip back just a little, beautiful. Deepen into that left knee if you can. Pull the belly up and lift up with the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up again. Nice triumphant warrior one. Big deep breath here. And when you're ready, exhale the hands down around the front foot. Stepping back and finding your plank. He reminded me I didn't do the cactus. Exhale and chaturanga. Find your back bend. And then press back and take your down dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, make your way to the front of your mat to a forward fold. From this forward fold, drop those hips, lift the heart, find a chair pose. Couple of big breaths here. And then inhale, stretch all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Nice, you guys just made it through a sun B. All right, if you need a drink, grab one. And we'll shake it all out. We are actually going to make our way down onto our mat. And I want to make certain that everyone has a blanket or some pillows, whatever works for you for this next sequence, all right? So grab, you're gonna want, yeah, your blanket is gonna work great, all right? The flatter, the better, we just want a little cushion. All right, so we'll vinyasa our way down to our mat. So as we make our way back and find the front of our mat, find all four corners of those feet, press evenly down through the feet, draw the energy up the legs. And then draw the shins in, pull the thighs apart, lift, engage through the glutes, pull up through the abdominals, roll the shoulders back and apart. Inhale, sweep eyes and arms up. Exhale, nice big swan dive down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, place your hands and step back, right and left, finding a plank. Then exhale in nice and slowly. Can you chaturanga? Hover for a moment, and then press all the way down. Lift the right toes up and stretch through the leg, lay the right toes down. Lift up through the left leg, stretch out, lay the toes down. Draw the legs in close together and press the toenails in so hard the knees pop up. Press the pelvis in. Inhale, roll the heart up, find a baby cobra. Exhale, pressing back down, draw the elbows underneath the shoulders. We're headed to a Sphinx pose. The low body stays the same here. Legs elongated, toes pressing into the mat, knees lifted, pelvis down. Pull away from, the heart pulls away from the pelvis, lifting and pulling. So don't just crank yourself up. Pull forward and up. Roll the shoulders on the back. Now, one more little refinement. Pull that belly, try to get it to lift up off the mat. When you do that, you'll help support the low back. Keep pulling the shoulders down the back. Press those hands into the ground and drag the elbows back towards the hips. Exhale, release down, stack the hands, and let the right cheek come to rest on the hands. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the legs. And then stretch those legs out long. Bring the hands back by the sides. We're headed to a locust pose. So let the chin come down flat on the ground. And then as you press the toenails into the ground and the pelvis, lift up with the heart and press the hands back. Now float the legs up. Use the back body to help you lift higher here. Exhale and release towards the ground. Beautiful. Now, bring your right hand to the front of your mat and your left fingers to the outside of your mat in a tent. It can be flat or in a tent, depending on how I like the tent. It helps me. Bend the left leg, and you're going to reach around and see if you can find that left foot. You okay? Now, if you can't find the left foot and you want a strap, you can grab your strap and place it around the foot. All right? If you're good to go here, just like in our standing quad stretch, I want you to pull the left knee in by the right, lift up through the right hand, and pull that left leg, that left foot in towards the tuck. Stretch those left toes into a flexed position. You might be able to rotate that right hand and lift the heart even further. Square the heart forward and breathe. Exhale, hands down, unwinding this. If you need a break in that low back, bend the knees and windshield wiper. When you're ready, we'll head to the other side. So again, the legs stretch out. Left forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Right hand presses in to the right side of the mat to support you a little bit as you bend that right leg and then lift the right hand and reach back, finding the right ankle. Flex that right foot, square the heart in the chest, draw the right knee in towards the left, just like in the standing quad stretch. Take that left hand out like the Sphinx pose, pressing the palm into the ground and lifting. Pull the belly up. And then press back down. Hands come back, stack those hands, and bring the chin onto the hands. Take a breath here. We're going to add on to this by rolling onto our side. So take your right arm out and make it long on your mat. I'm going to move this so you can see. Then rock onto your right side and let your head rest on your arm. You can keep that the left hand here in front of you. Some of you might find it's easier to get into this position if you draw the right foot forward. We're going to reach back and find that left leg like we did in our quad stretch. And this time, now see if you can stretch that right leg out. I rolled away. Stretch that right leg out and turn it into a little half bow here. For some of you, this will be easier than it was laying on your belly on the floor. And when you're ready, switch those sides out. So the left arm goes long. We roll over onto the left side. You can draw that right knee up. Your core is helping to stabilize you here. Press the hips forward, pull the foot back. Becomes more of a balance challenge here as you try to hold yourself. Try to keep that right foot flexed. Yeah, keeping that leg active. And then gently release. Keep the arms out long and roll onto the belly. Slide your hands back by your rib cage and press up, finding your tabletop and then back to a kneeling position. This is where our blanket or a block comes in. We're headed to half frog here. How am I doing time-wise? I'm good. All right. I can almost see Suzanne doing this. So we're going to press to a table position and then lay back down, and we want to have the blanket up at about your hip height. Our goal here is to bring our leg, we'll go with the left leg first, okay? Needs to be off to the side. So your goal is to bring your left leg out at an angle, at a right angle from your hip. And then to have the ankle stacked at a right angle right underneath the knee. Flex that left foot. Now square the hips and the chest to the front of the mat and come to a forward, lay all the way down. Just fold over onto your mat. Now our goal here, as we rest, for some of you this will be very easy, for others this will not. You see how the left hip wants to rise up if it's your left leg that's out. So what we want to do is try to bring this leg a little further back, and then we're working to draw that left hip towards the floor. Tell me if it's too much. So this is half frog. Take a few more breaths here, just drawing that left hip down towards the floor, stretching through the left knee, out away from the hip. When you're ready, you can go ahead and draw the left leg back in, and we'll just switch the sides out. So the blanket comes over to your right side of your mat. For most of us, it's going to be up about hip height. Now, another thing that might help you is to build your blanket or your pillow slightly higher. So if you're having trouble getting the hip down and you feel a lot of pulling and pressure in the inside of the hip, then go ahead and fold that blanket over again or grab another pillow to lay the leg on. And as you press the leg into that raised blanket or pillow, then you can get that release in the hip. All right, so go ahead and bend your right knee if you haven't already. Stack that right shin on whatever prop you're using. And we're going to be really careful because we know that you've got right hip issues, right? So as you find this Ardha Bakasana pose, you gently begin to draw the right ribs towards the mat and then bring that energy down into the hips. Yeah, just pressing out as much as you can. And breathing. Take a moment here. When we're working with the hips, we're working with big muscles and lots of muscles intertwined. So we want to give them time. Take one more breath and then go ahead and draw your legs back in close together. Just stretch onto your belly. And take a moment to feel the hips nice and even. Draw your hands back by your rib cage now. Tuck your toes and press up through a reverse or a table and find your plank pose. Then exhale and find a down dog. From this down dog, we're going to head to a lizard lunge. So draw your right leg up in the air and then bend the knee and swing the knee to the outside of the right hand, placing the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lizard lunge, yeah. And again, if it doesn't go where we want it, we just grab that foot and inch it to where we need it. So where do I need it? I'm trying to stack my right hand and my right foot close together, my right wrist and my right ankle somewhat close together so that I can press knee in to shoulder, shoulder into knee. You're welcome to stay right here, working to draw that left hip down again, right hip up so that the back is flat, or lay the left leg down, stretch through the toes. Try to keep the weight stamping on that right foot, so don't shift so far back that the right foot feels like it's just going to come up onto the heel. You might find that if you walk the right foot further off the right side of your mat, you have a little more freedom. Again, you're welcome to stay right here or to begin to deepen your stance. So you can draw the elbows down to a block, to your blanket, to the floor. Do you want blocks? Whatever works for you. Now, wherever you are here, what I do want you to focus on is most of us come here and we look down. And so I'd like you to look up and pull the heart forward. Relax the shoulders. One more big breath. Then tuck those back toes, lift the back knee up, and drive the right foot straight back by the left. Exhale, lift up and find a down dog. And take a few breaths in this down dog. And we'll do that lizard on the other side. So when you're ready, stretch that left leg up and then draw the knee in, place the foot to the outside of the left hand, and you're in a lizard lunge. Again, try to line up. So the hand is a little in front of the left foot and the left forearm is a little in front of the left thigh. Breathe. Press up through the right hip as you press down through the left hip, stretching out through the right leg here. Then perhaps the right knee lays down and the foot goes flat. Check in, look up. Perhaps you can draw down a little further. I need to draw that left foot off a little wider. Even here, resist the urge to arch the shoulders. Instead, pull that heart through, lifting the gaze. And then bring the hands back in underneath the center. Tuck those back toes, stretch through the back leg, and pull that left foot back by the right. Drop the knees down onto the mat and come to a seated position on your mat. Nicely done. Take a moment here just to find your Sukhasana position and notice how it feels compared to when you started class. Hopefully you're feeling a little more ease in the rotation of the thighs, a little more ease in the back. Go ahead and bring your index finger and your thumb together, lift up through the heart, and let your breath deepen and still again. We always want to remember that whenever the breath becomes ragged, to take a moment to breathe, to bring it back to a neutral in and out. Doesn't mean we won't breathe deeply. We just want it to be even in and out. Refocus your intention on your mat and moving through strength and hope. We'll move into some twists here, and hopefully that will feel really good for you. So making certain that you have your strap available, I'm going to grab mine. Go ahead, open your eyes and grab your strap. You can grab a drink if you need it. And we're going to stretch our left leg out first here and draw the right foot up into that seated tree or Janushasana. And then place the strap around the arch of the left foot. And as you hold the strap like horse's reins, lift up with the heart, lengthening the spine, press the sit bones away from the left heel. Now, as you do that, press that right knee towards the floor. You may feel that really intensely in the IT band. That's okay. As long as there's no pain, we're all good, right? Draw the toes up towards the sky or perhaps towards your face, making certain the heel stays down. Keep pushing the right heel into the left thigh, and then exhale and release your chest down towards your left shin. If you get down there and you realize, oh, I'm fine, I can drop that strap and I can grab my ankle or I can grab my foot, that's fine. But don't curl the spine in order to get here, all right? It's not an end position. Keep breathing with each inhale. Lift up and give the back length. And with each exhale, draw the chest closer towards the shin. And then walk the hands with an inhale up the leg. Draw the right foot up and place the right foot up and over the left thigh. Now, for many of us, as we work to stamp that right foot down on the ground, we need to, we'll find that that right hip presses up. So I want you to push the right hip down as hard as you're pressing the right foot down. Hands can come around the right knee, lift up through the heart. You can flex that left foot here. Left hand holds the right knee in close, right hand comes behind you. Lift the heart and press up. If it is hard for you to find this position and bring your body weight forward, go ahead and place a block underneath your right hand to give you a little bit of height there. If all is good here, stamp into that right hip, that right foot, and lift the left arm up. Twist to the right and bring the left elbow in between the body and the right knee. Lift up through the heart again and twist. Keep pressing that right foot actively down into the floor. Left foot is active. You might even be playing with those yogi toes here. Breath or two. And then stretch the left arm up, unwind this. Take the legs apart, shake those legs out a little bit. We'll draw that left leg up and into the right thigh and bring the straps around the arch of the right foot. Lifting up through the heart, holding the straps like horse's reins, pressing that left heel down, that left knee down, left heel into the right thigh. Lift up and lengthen the spine, and then exhale and stretch that body long across the right leg. Now you'll notice as you're doing this that different sides are going to feel differently. You have different things going on in your hips and your knees. It's all good. Honor your body. Don't necessarily try to create a mirror image. Find the stretch here that feels good to you, remembering to lengthen on the inhales and stretch further down on the exhales. And then see if you can reach maybe for ankles, maybe for feet. And then walk the hands up that right leg, draw the left knee up towards the sky, and then lift the left foot up and over the right thigh. Stamp down through that left hip bone and the left foot. Hands come around the knees so that you can use that to leverage you to lift up. Keep holding the right knee with the left knee with the right hand. Bring the left hand behind your left hip, lift up through the heart. As you press through the left hip and the left heel, that'll enable you to release that right hand, twist to the left, draw the right elbow in between the body and the left knee, and then twist a little deeper. Hey, that was a song. Couple of big breaths here. Relaxing those shoulders, opening the heart. And then unwind, stretching the right arm up and bringing the right hand down, unwinding those legs and shaking them out. We're going to add one little supine twist and then a stretch. So if you're not parallel to the long edge of your mat, make yourself parallel to the long edge of your mat. Come all the way down onto your back. And then lift your right leg up and cross your legs way at the thighs, like we were doing supine eagle. All right. Then draw the knees in towards the chest. Now, you might choose to just stay right here, drawing the knees in, and this may bring enough sensation in for you. On the other hand, you might slide your hands down your shins and then gently begin to draw the shins in towards your sit bones. So it's a supine Gomukhasana. I always forget about this. And this is another pose that Megan had in Monday's class. Why do I always forget about this? You can also just have your hands on the knees, pulling the knees in close. So lots of variations, can be a lot gentler to the hips while opening them up. Now, for some of you, if pulling them in is really easy and you want a little additional challenge, I want you, as you pull the hands in, to resist the hands with the legs, as though you were trying to open the legs up like wings. And you'll find that will change the sensation in the hips. And then unwind that. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So the right foot stamps down, that left leg comes up and over like you were sitting cross-legged or going for eagle. Draw the knees in. Slide the hands down, the knees down, the shins until you find the ankles. Flex the feet and begin to draw the ankles in close to the sit bones or the hips. You know, if you'd like that little extra here, you start to press the feet out and away, lifting those wings while you're pulling back with the arms, resisting this energy here. And then release the legs and bring them back down. Since we got so close to eagle, I think we have to do supine eagle here on the ground. So draw that right leg up, bring the left leg into the midline of your mat, cross way over at the thighs again. Lift the knees up. And as you draw the left shin up towards the sky and back towards the left side of your mat, you might be able to hook the right foot underneath it. Now you can draw the knees in. You can add the arms if you'd like. So take the arms straight up from the floor and then draw the right arm underneath the left and bring that twist in here. Eagle's much easier when you don't have to deal with balance. Yeah. Ken just said not necessarily. Unwind everything. Take a minute to stretch the legs out, stretch the arms out long overhead. And then we're going to come back to that little twist. So bring the legs back in. This time we're going to draw that left leg up and over. The further over you get it, squeezing those thighs, the easier this will be. Draw the knees up and in, lift the right leg up and drag it over towards your left foot. Then start to swing the left foot underneath. Now you can resist those and begin to bend. Arms come straight up towards the sky again. Left arm presses underneath right, and we thread into eagle arms. Unwind everything. Bring the feet to the outsides of your mat. Bring your arms up into cactus. And from here, we're letting the hands relax down onto the floor. Just let the knees go off to the left side of the body for a nice, easy supine twist. If you'd like, the gaze can go off to the right. Keep pressing the right shoulder down, the right rib cage towards the floor, right hip towards the floor. And then inhale, drawing those knees back up, making certain the feet are still as wide apart as your mat. Exhaling and taking the knees now off to your right. And then maybe the gaze goes off to the left. And I focus on pressing the left shoulder, the left rib cage, the left hip down towards the floor, just relaxing into the pose. And draw the knees back up to center. Inhale, knees back in towards the chest. Hands can grasp the shins and you rock gently side to side. One last little happy baby has to sneak in here. So take the knees wider than the hips. Draw the ankles so they're stacked over the knees. Feet stamping onto the ceiling. Arms draw inside of the knees. Hands come across the shins and grasp the outside of the feet. Again, if this is too intense, you're always welcome to release one leg to the floor and do happy baby one leg at a time. In fact, sometimes we intensify happy baby doing it one leg at a time and getting deeper in the stretch than we might if we forced both legs up. Your choice. You're also welcome to just stay here pressing the sacrum flat, feeling that length lifting through the heart, or you can begin to rock your happy baby. That feels good on your low back. Sometimes when we do those heart openers, if we're not using the abdominals enough, then we get a sore low back, and we want to avoid that. And then gently, whichever happy baby you took, draw those knees back in towards the chest, grasp the shins, and rock side to side one last time. Go ahead here now and bring your feet down 6 to 10 inches away from your sit bones. Keeping them in, stamping those feet down, draw the arms in close to your sides, bend your elbows, fingers towards the sky, press the backs of the shoulder blades into the floor, and then inhale and lift up through the hips. Focus on your heart now. And as you press the elbows into the floor, roll the heart further up towards your chin. Make certain you're not scrunching, so keep the neck nice and loose here. Take a breath or two here. And then exhale and release the hips down towards the floor. Roll to your right side and press yourself up, finding an easy seated position. We're going to grab whatever you have, whether it's blocks, blankets, pillows, whatever you have, and see if we can find a little bit of a supported Shavasana today. So find your blocks or your blankets. If you're using blocks, you can play with what size, what height feels best for you here. So a deep, intense position would be a supported fish, where if you've got your blocks, you would have them on the side like this. A less intense position. Kent is actually going to come to a different, yeah, that's a great one. Okay, Kent has got a bolster and some blocks, and so he's going to make his little, I see John popping into this pose in the studio here. The legs can be out straight or they can be in Baddha Konasana. So you can build whatever heart opening Shavasana you would like. So Ken actually took a couple of blocks and made a little support for himself, and then he laid, we have a bolster. You could do that with your blanket, right? And he's letting his heart and his chest roll open. You'll see I've got the blocks here up on a high position, and I'm going to bring my sacrum to those blocks. And I'm going to start in Baddha Konasana just so I can get comfortable, and then I'm going to stretch out. So bringing the forearms down to support me, I can make certain those blocks are where they feel good and they don't hurt my back. And I'm totally supported. So you choose. This is more of a supine fish. I'm going to stretch my legs out, which intensifies it a little bit. A supine fish or a supported Baddha Konasana like Kent has there. We just want to pose where your heart is open, your chest is lifted, your tummy is relaxed, your back is in a little bit of a back bend, but not so much that it's too intense for you. And your mind can begin to relax and let go of any tension that you might have accumulated as you were focusing on my voice following the yoga class. Notice your breath and bring it back to that even in and out. And bring your mind's eye back to the intention that you set on your class. Were you able to keep your focus and your thoughts there? As you moved your body, moving forward in your agenda. Remembering that our yoga is a practice, not a judgment. Take a full breath in and then drop your jaw and exhale completely. And again, one more time, inhaling all the way in and dropping the jaw and exhaling completely.
And as you feel your awareness returning back to your body, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, letting your breath return to normal. Bring in the wrists and the ankles. Being mindful of whatever props you created for yourself for your Shavasana. Gently roll yourself off onto one side and take a moment here to let the spine reset a bit. Noticing how the spine feels. Breathing deeply in and out. And as you are ready, using your upper hand and your upper leg to press you up to an easy seated position, hands at your heart center, eyes softly closed. I want to thank you for joining me on the mat today for this practice. I honor and respect that you took this time out of your day to take care of your body and your mind and to join in our community. We miss you all so very much that it is so great to see your faces pop up on those screens. And I would encourage you, just like hopefully you used some different things to practice deciding in love and hope as you moved on your mat. What am I not afraid my knee might do, but what do I think my knee can do? What am I hopeful I can do? I'd like to challenge you to take that off your mat today. When you find yourself reacting and you think, why am I saying that? Or where is that coming from? Step back and ask yourself, is that coming from a place of love and of hope or of fear? If it's a fear-based decision, can you take a breath and ask how you would have changed that if it was a love or a hope-based decision? And then move on in faith. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, hubby. I will open back up, and if anyone has any questions, thoughts, requests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
You too.
Thank you, Sandy.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was serious, guys, when I said if there are any poses you want to be working on while you're at home, let me know that. And Ken just said to me, did you mean to make that 1 hour and 15? No, I did not. So my apologies. I was thinking it was Friday. So hopefully you thought of it as a bonus and not as a what is she doing? So you guys take care, all right?
Thanks, Sandy. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Guys, have a good day. Thank you.
Take care.
Sandy.
That's funny.
So, Mom, today,
Let's do one.
can you hear me?
I can now, yeah. Let me put away my headphones. Are you there?
Yeah.
It's weird because hang on, let me put these away. Are you there, Kel?
Yeah.
There you go. Hi.
Hi.
That was funny.
What?
I'm like, yeah, I'm good on time. And nobody, like a couple times I said, how am I doing on time? And nobody like interrupted me. Not even
Because you
you.
just looked at the clock.
Well,
I thought, well,
yeah.
she knows. It's like she
Yeah, you kept looking at the clock, so we thought you knew.
No.
I
yeah,
knew.
'cause
I was looking forward to Shavasana and it came 15 minutes late.
Well, Alex, he took the kids, so most of the class, the kids were like climbing all over me and stuff. I've got pictures to send you. They were trying to do yoga with me, and I was not really getting to do any yoga. So Alex took them and started feeding them their lunch. And then it's 10:15, and he's like, how long is this class? And I was like, I think it ends right now, but we're not in Shavasana yet, so.
I love it. Sorry.
That's okay. But that's what I was going to tell you is I'll send you the picture.